Episode 342, Mistral launches Forge.
The primitive forms of artificial intelligence we already have proved very useful.
AI is a golden opportunity.
How do we ensure that this technology is regulated?
The long arc of technological history is now in an extraordinary new phase.
The AI6 podcast with Joanne Sweeney.
Mistral AI, the French company positioning itself as Europe's answer to OpenAI, has just launched a platform that lets any organization build its own custom AI model trained on its own data. It's called Forge, and it will likely change how enterprises think about artificial intelligence. Hello and welcome back to AI6. I'm Joanne Sweeney on a mission to upskill 500,000 of you in just 6 minutes a day. So what is Forge? It was launched on March 17th at NVIDIA's GTC conference, one of the biggest AI enterprise events of the year. Mistral's head of product, Alicia Salamanca, told TechCrunch that Forge lets enterprises and governments customize AI models for their specific needs. Now, you might think that's just fine-tuning, which plenty of companies already offer. But Mistral says Forge goes deeper. Most enterprise AI today works by layering your company data on top of a general model using a technique called RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. That's really useful, but it doesn't change what the model fundamentally knows. The model is still trained on the internet, and your data sits alongside it at a runtime, not inside it. Forge lets organizations train models from scratch on their own internal documentation, code bases, compliance frameworks, operational records, and institutional knowledge. The model learns your vocabulary, your reasoning patterns, your constraints. It thinks in your domain, not just about it. Mistral gave some examples of what this looks like in practice. A government agency could train a model on its policy frameworks, regulatory text, and administrative procedures across multiple languages. A financial institution could build a model that understands its compliance rules and risk processes from the inside. A software company could train its own code bases so the model understands its internal architecture and coding standards. And I've spoken about domain expert LLM models before and why they matter. In fact, you can go back and check out episode 280 and why I believe they are the future for organizations. General purpose models like Claude, Perplexity, Gemini, ChatGPT give general purpose answers. But if you're working in government, healthcare, financial services, or any regulated sector, often that's not good enough. Mistral's co-founder, Timothy Lacroix, put it simply: smaller models cannot be equally good on every topic. Customization lets organizations choose what to emphasize and what to drop. And that is strategic specialization. Forge also comes with Mistral's own forward-deployed engineers who embed directly with customers to help surface the right data and build the right evaluations. Salamanca was honest about this. She said enterprises usually don't have the right expertise for building evaluations and data pipelines, and that's what these engineers bring to the table. Think of it as a consulting model borrowed from Palantir and IBM, but applied to building your own AI. There's also an important European dimension here. In episode 308 of AI6, I spoke about France's sovereign AI strategy. Mistral is a Paris-based company founded in 2023, now with a valuation at over €11 billion. CEO Arthur Mensch said at Davos in January that Mistral expects to exceed €1 billion in revenue by the end of 2026. And they have some early partners. They're working with Ericsson, the European Space Agency, and Italian consulting firm Reply, Singapore's defense and security agencies. So these are data-sensitive organizations that need to control where their AI runs and who has access. So for European organizations, training can happen on Mistral's own clusters, on their dedicated infrastructure called Mistral Compute, or entirely on premises within the customer's own data centers. So that means there's no US cloud providers required and full control over data residency. Mensch, the CEO, told the Financial Times that Europe has realised its dependency on US digital services was excessive and now potentially at breaking point. So I think this is going to be a shift in focus for European organisations who are bound by the EU AI Act. So Mistral Forge is one AI model to watch. That's it for today's show. If you're ready to turn these insights into skills, here's how I can help. Get your copy of my book, AI Playbook, on Amazon. It's the perfect companion to the show. For weekly AI strategies, subscribe to my newsletter, Human in the Loop, on LinkedIn. Or if you want to take the next big step, you can take our CPD accredited professional diploma in AI. Maybe you need something more tailored for your organisation. You can book a call in my calendar at digitaltraining.ie, or if you work in government or public sector, go over to publicsectormarketingpros.com. If you found this episode useful, please share it with a pro that you know, and I'd love to read your comments on Spotify. And if you can, take a second to like, rate, or subscribe wherever you listen. It really helps the show. This is AI6. I'll talk to you on the next episode.